Rings of Power is back.
An evil, ancient, and powerful has returned.
At least they know what they are.
Prepare yourselves.
Rings of Power has always been a bit of a special series, made famous by their prior marketing strategy.
My colour representation. Someone that looks just like me.
There are not many women in it. Women who are in it never speak to one another. Female representation.
I wasn't represented, my disability.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that of associating disability with evil.
Oh, my queerness.
That interview is one that I think will go down in infamy.
I'm a girl, Galadriel.
Yeah, I love Galadriel. I remember putting out my phone and I was like, yeah, it's Radio Lord of the Rings.
Not just because they said the most insane things.
I know you guys are selfie holics, right? What was the best picture you took of the night?
The most unhinged takes.
Potentially gonna make us love the Hobbit films and the Lord of the Rings films and potentially the books as well.
And magically seemed to know things that they couldn't possibly have considered. That also turned out to be true.
If you're a lore buff like me, I
No comment.
start making like some initial rings that like don't have much power. Human and an elf in like a forbidden romance kind of thing.
Why would you expect a hot Sauron or expect him to have a romance with Galadriel?
Do you think we're going to see another side of Sauron?
Yes.
Like maybe he falls in love. Maybe there's a reason. Every villain's a hero in his own
I
story,
think
right?
we're going to find out more.
People are going to fall in love with him and be like, I can change him. I feel like there's going to be a bit of romance. And it's like, you can't be with him. Wow. Why not? He's my ex.
But of course, this group was also famous for something else.
Like walking through the fire ring, it was so cool.
Because, well, we did find out that their marketing video was actually reproduced around the world. And so we're going through, oh, look, we're going to look over there and point around with the same shots with different people. Normally, when you open a door, you go through it, but these people don't. No, we're all going to pause at the door at the same time. And who can forget their fake multiple takes?
If like Sauron is hot, I feel like people will be like, I can fix him. People are going to fall in love with him and be like, I can change him.
They basically scripted a marketing video and then got people around the world from different territories to act it out. Except with this group, there was something special. Jay Longbone found a guy pissing in the corner. Honestly, I don't know what else he'd be doing there. And the memes were glorious. But now, as season 2 arrives, we're preparing a new marketing technique. We've left behind those old interviews of the past that definitely won't come back to bite them again.
How has everything become so toxic?
To be part of a redress of balance is an honor.
I, as an activist,
we are both activists.
This represents progression.
Maybe it's because it's changing.
We have all new characters on this couch today, I think. We don't know who you guys are playing at all.
The opportunity to interpret and reinterpret it.
And words mean something different, rediscovering things.
We're creating something new.
You have an opportunity to fill in the gaps and to make your own decisions. There's room.
There's room. But as a writer, you'd go crazy if you didn't change it somehow.
This represents an acknowledgement of where we have been and a will to get to where we need to be.
A lot of us are firsts.
I don't understand how people can come to hate something that they once loved.
Oh, I'm getting chills. I'm literally getting chills and tearing up.
Can do it too.
And we can do it, yeah.
It's time for so many people who may have not seen themselves staring right back at them on a screen to have that chance and to have that turn.
This profession is a gambler's profession.
First ever female dwarf to ever truly be seen cinematically.
If you don't like a show, don't watch it.
It is so time for us to expand the accessibility and the opportunity for this world, Tolkien's world.
No, now we have a new trailer, a new behind-the-scenes video.
I've had an unexpected visitor.
Who'd have thought a ring could have so much power?
You should name a show after it.
And I'm sure they've entirely changed it, taken the criticism on board, because these showrunners had such a high opinion of their audience. As remember, if you had criticisms of the show, if you thought that it wasn't actually Lord of the Rings and they were crapping on Tolkien's legacy, well, then you were definitely not fighting for good, said the showrunner. No, he had inculcated the spirit of Tolkien into all of his periods. I don't see how these people think they're fighting for good. They're patently evil. And remember, these two incredibly intelligent, well-paid gentlemen who absolutely have a vast amount of experience making quality television to their names were so vital to the production of Rings of Power that they just went on strike and nobody cared. I always thought strikes were meant to actually harm the productions they were on, but actually, with these two twits going on strike, well, Rings of Power just carried on anyway. And who knows, maybe it'll be better off for it. Because I mean, yes, Patrick McKay does have a whole host of writing credits, including Flash Gordon, which is in development, and Star Trek Beyond, which they didn't even put his name on. But he was so required for the development of Lord of the Rings that they didn't even need him to exist to make it. I think that means that I also made Rings of Power Season 2, because I didn't work on it when it was getting filmed either.
Thank you. I love movies. I love making them. And I am a fan of movies.
And so, after you've called your audience evil, you can imagine them not being that keen on your product. As we discovered in an article that I genuinely every time find under the search engine by typing Jennifer Sulky star banging. It's right there, first result. Rings of Power, believed to be the most expensive series ever made. A culturally defining moment for the company, yet falling short of the breakout hit. It only had a 37% completion rate among domestic customers, 45% internationally, but even 50% would be solid but not spectacular result, as well as didn't get any awards, which is what Amazon crave, because they're desperate to be taken seriously as a studio, rather than somebody that ships rubber gloves in cardboard boxes. Jennifer Sulky, though, as ever, prefers to be deluded. The desire to paint the show as anything less than a success is not reflective of any conversation I'm having internally, either in her own head or at meetings within the company. If I ignore it and don't have those conversations, they don't exist. All of this sets the scene for Rings of Power Season 2 to be a smashing success. Let's see how that's getting on, shall we?
Great. That's nice. Well, you know, this is what it is. Could you watch Lord of the Rings, old trailer? Yeah, let's do that. I want a remake now? No, you don't. Stop it. We don't need a remake. It's already good.
It's going down wonderfully with fans.
I think he's been here among us all along.
Yeah, Sauron is back, and this time he's put a wig on. I'm not sure how you save the previous series from the ending where Galadriel found out that Sauron wanted her to join him in evil and make the rings, and then she said, no, I won't join you, but then decided to make the rings. Following through on the ultimate plan of the most evil person on Earth, it's not the best idea. And I don't know how you save her as a character, but for him, I am a bit confused by the wig. I mean, okay, he's trying to be an elf. For better or worse, this is what we're working with. Really does emphasize that hairline, doesn't it? But I'm also not sure what this is even meant to be. It says he's been here all along. It's like, well, for a bit. All the time you're making the rings, but now we've got this. Is this in the future? And he's just out in the open, and so everyone recognizes him and he just uses power to control people, which would be against the law, where he actually tricked everyone into making all of the rings before they knew who he was? Or is this a flashback? And actually he was always there, dressed like that, as well as turning up in the previous form that we saw in the first season, in which case, how did nobody know that those were the same person? I know this is a teaser trailer, which is why it's just a load of unrelated scenes shoved together, but you're supposed to make me want to watch it, not just be confused. Oh, look, we got a swarm. We got some vines.
The rest of him slithers in.
But what everyone was really waiting for on August the 29th was 100%. Galadriel slow motion moving on a horse. There's somebody underwater. Getting eaten for some reason. It's the only dwarf who's ever truly been seen, although nobody knows why. How much sun do you get underground? I still need to know. We've got the king peering inside Elrond.
Oh, Jesus. Leave it there.
I'm gonna come.
Before his entire home gets destroyed. Just random scenes of 2-second clips put together as if they're scared of YouTube copywriting themselves. The darkness will bind them. Oh, look, that's how we all display our... Who displays rings like that? No, there you go. That would be if you were displaying your nails. That's a ring. But it seems like they're using the ring's powers to regrow the tree so that they can stay in the land once more. Presumably this is the dwarves getting theirs. I do wonder if this is before or after they find out that Sauron wants them to make them all. This guy still holds his bow like he's at one of those schools that Russell T Davies thinks trains evil people.
And a lot of us on the production team had the problems with that of associating disability with evil.
But it is literally flash, 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 flash. Now you have to pause anything to even see what's happening on the screen. I hate these kind of trailers. I've always hated these kind of trailers. A trailer should make you want to watch the thing, which means it's got to give you a taste of what it is. A little condensed version of the hook of the story. And this is just like, look, I've got pictures. Oh, look, he can ride a bird. He's crying because he's realised that his dad's half elf. Galadriel's just fired a bow and looks horrified at herself. What was that? Oh, what have I just done? I didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry, Dave. I've just killed you. That is the face of somebody that's just missed the enemy and shot a friend.
He's so...
I mean, yes. But then again, remember, it was Galadriel that drove him to this. She's responsible for creating the most evil person on Earth. And that was the problem with the trailer. It didn't really show you much at all. It was just like, here are the characters. Here's a 2-second image of them. And so while they thought it'd get the fans on their side, well... it didn't. In fact, it went as predictably as you might expect, getting 67,000 upvotes from 3.6 million views. Just as a reference point, on normal videos, you'd expect about 10%, which would have been 365,000 upvotes. But maybe they were running ads and people never saw the page in order to give it a thumbs up. Right. There is 297,000 downvotes, though. So somebody's watching the page, and those people don't like it very much. In fact, the best thing about the video is the comments itself. Do you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? And the thing that most impresses me about this trailer is that they haven't turned the comment section off. 26,000 upvotes. A comment has a third of the upvotes of the entire video. You have not seen what I have seen. Oh, but I've seen enough. I used to be a Sauron like you, but then I took a wig to the knee. Elves. Oh no, Hellbrand is actually Sauron. Hellbrand puts on a wig and pointy ears. Elves. Where did he go? Must have been the wind. Seriously, these elves have a memory like a Metal Gear Solid villain, for they were all deceived. For another wig was made. During the last trailer, they went on a mass deleting spree because they claimed that they were bots, when really, it was people memeing. Well, it turns out it's not just the series which have evolved. The comments have too, and now everyone memes their own unique one. And if you think, nah, that doesn't show anything, it's probably just a one-off. Oh, you've seen nothing yet. Because they released a behind-the-scenes video. And don't worry, we'll get to that soon. But that also got ratioed. But then we've got Prime Video in different countries. The Netherlands got ratioed. Actually, 235,000 subscribers, only 3.5 views. Mexico, ratioed. 1 million subscribers, only 5.6 thousand views. Not much interest in Mexico for this trash, is there? Spain, ratioed. Germany, ratioed. Italy, ratioed. France, ratioed. And those were just the countries that released at the same time, because some of them were delayed, presumably due to time zones or something, I'm not sure. But Japan released this 14 hours ago, as opposed to the rest, which is well over 1 day old. And Japan seems to have disabled the likes and dislikes on their video. Amazon is evolving. Kind of interested to translate some of the comments, though. Well, I guess we've found out why they've turned off the likes. As for India, they haven't even bothered. Maybe they're not very confident that they could compete with Bollywood. But when you go to the behind the scenes section, that's where there's hints that they tried to listen to people, even if they may have got the wrong idea.
Season, Galadriel's being driven more by a bigger purpose.
No, it wasn't a problem with the cast or the writing or us pretending that things were really deep when they weren't.
Do you know why a ship floats and a stone cannot?
Because a ship displaces more mass than the mass of the ship, and a stone doesn't.
Because the stone sees only downward.
You what? Your stone doesn't even have eyes, mate. The problem was, it was actually the pacing, yeah.
You're gonna get to see Sauron out in the open, making everything happen. We'll be able to watch it all unfold.
I mean, that was one of the problems. Most of the first series was boring.
The chessboard's been set, and I'm seeing the chess pieces move.
But you're gonna have to do a lot more than just tell me that
you do sort of get plunged straight into the story.
Because one of the problems with the Rings of Power is that it's not Tolkien. And so it doesn't really matter if you're jumping into the story if the story you're making isn't up to par with the story that Tolkien wrote.
We kind of touched on it and teased on it in season 1. This time you will see us in all our glory.
And no amount of replacing it with action scenes or battle scenes is going to replace that. Yes. In the Lord of the Rings movies, the battle scenes were awesome. I don't think you're going to compete with those, though. Just have a feeling, considering the quality of the rest of the series.
It gets a little darker. The chessboard's been set.
Oh, sorry. I thought she was a new character for a second there, and then I realised I just never looked at her face.
Second season, it really feels like the gloves come off.
And all of that combined is why the press for season 2, it's probably not what Amazon were hoping for. Hollywood is determined to ruin Tolkien for future generations. Is this the beginning of a new dark age? Ring-a-ding-ding, there's a new trailer for the world's favourite fantasy series, That's Game of Thrones. For everyone else, there's a $1 billion Lord of the Rings prequel. The promo, every bit is full-throated and earth-shaking. There's plenty of what you'd expect from a spin-off, but the response has been divided. Is this a triumph of style over substance? The hate is strong. And there's more. Season 2 walks into the same trap that made Season 1 so bad. And the trailers themselves so poorly put together that Screen Rant needs articles explaining why Sauron looks different than he did before. There's articles about how Rings of Power will have to earn back the trust that they destroyed in the first season. And that is why it was so funny when HBO came out, and 1 hour after Rings of Power released their trailers, they dropped House of the Dragon right on top of it to consume the news cycle. Their posters even look similar due to the main characters. Rings of Power announced the day before that they were going to do it. HBO knew, and they decided, no, we're not going to wait. We're going to do a little trolling. And while some may say it's petty, and it is, I also like it, because after how the cast of Rings of Power have treated the fans,
To be part of a redress of balance is an honour.
I, as an activist,
We are both activists.
well, it's hard to say you don't deserve a little trolling. But from here, no doubt the marketing will ramp up, and we'll learn more and more as time goes on, up until August the 29th. So if you're interested in that, subscribe for more videos, and let me know your thoughts down below. But for now, that's it from me. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe for more videos in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.